Yesterday, just a quick recap. Took 2 trades. One on Google hit, and Nvidia lost. Almost to take profit, but it is what it is. Lost on Nvidia, but that's okay. Nvidia is actually setting up really nice today, so it's gonna be something to watch. Google, probably not gonna trade it. Probably not, but Nvidia is definitely setting up for some good moves. Who's all here today? Who's all with me before market opens? Say good morning in the chat if you are here. Early bird gets the worm, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Today is my wife's birthday, so that's another reason I'm a little bit behind. Funny, early bird gets the worm and I'm a little bit late, but if you see her today, wish her a happy birthday. You guys won't see her. Pretty exciting stuff. We're gonna do some shopping. I made her breakfast. Well, I made her a bagel and some sausage. Very easy. Got her some nice gifts and left her with the kids to come live trade. So happy birthday. Just want to make sure audio wise you guys can hear me loud and clear. Reusing my old mic here. I've been using this wireless mic that I actually really like. So what I'm doing now is, again, I'm just going through and setting up my watch list again. So I kind of have TradingView sectioned off here where I have like, okay, the current position I'm in. This helps you like understand on the live. Okay, if I have like an OCO set, so a pending order, if I have a pending position or something I'm watching, whether that be for supply and demand or TLM. And that's kind of how I set it up. So I'm really just kind of going through and seeing what could be potential setups. So NVIDIA, I'm looking for TLM, right? If I want to reset this chart, zoom in a little bit more, right? We're going to be inside of the zone here. So in order to take this trade, I needed it to come out. So I'm just going to set an alert, right? That's going to alert me that we're coming out. Then I want to see us come back in. Ideally, I would love to see us touch this supply, make it not fresh, come down, ideally break this low, maybe like we do something like this, break this low, come back up, and then we can play that rotation. That would be like ideal, but we'll see what happens. So NVIDIA just crossed there. So let's kind of see what happens with NVIDIA here. Let's let that market settle. Hood's looking really promising. See, like, you kind of see it on Hood. I don't think we're gonna get the rotation though. Dang. But you can kind of see it on Hood, right? As I'm going like 100 miles an hour here, but you can kind of see it, right? Pretend there's a candle market open here, or if we like really zoom in, pretend like there's like this price action that goes like this. We come down and we change trend. We kind of break that high. I then want to look for a pullback for entry, right? Mainly because this low broke that one, right? Kind of like stop hunted it. But we can come back to that one here in a second once the market slows back down. But yeah, let's keep our eyes on NVIDIA. So it's kind of the same thing. I love to break this low. It would give me even more confidence if we break that low and swing higher. We'll just have to see. Apple's looking really promising. Apple I like on a pullback. There's a trading strategy most people have never heard of, and it's quietly making traders profitable every single week. The Vault is our free trading community where you'll learn the triple line method, a strategy that's helped thousands of traders finally become consistently profitable. Inside the Vault, you will get structured trading courses from the basics all the way to funded accounts and our 3-phase system, plus live trading sessions every single week. Real trades, real setups, real traders, all in real time. To get access, all you have to do is comment Vault below and we'll send it to you for free. That's it. There's no catch. I don't need your credit card. Just comment the Vault and let's get you inside. Again, going 100 miles an hour here at market open, but I really like Apple on a pullback here. So Apple, this would be like, again, 100 miles an hour here at market open. We'll slow down here as the market settles in. But for Apple, if we can get a pullback, looking for an entry at 309.25, I'll be doing Friday expiration contracts. That's about a $1.60 stop, about $70 per, got like 7 contracts. That's if we get it, right? We may not get it, so I don't think we're going to get it. Dang. So Apple, we have that OCO set. Again, going 100 miles an hour. Promise we don't always go this fast. Dang, Apple's going to go though, I think. Dang. Okay, go ahead and pull off OCO for Apple. I'm counting that as a rotation. Man, that's frustrating. That's okay. We'll find another good one. No worries. Probably no one would have caught that anyways. Meta looks good for a potential short. What I don't really love is shorting this right now. That's kind of the only thing. I guess we are in like a higher time frame downtrend. We do have a pretty wide stop. We get that 1-to-1 on a little bit of a pullback. I don't hate Meta here. It's going to be a smaller size. Let's look at contract size or contract cost. See if it's feasible for people. Yeah. So Meta Friday expiration, like 607 puts are pretty decent. You can even go to the 605 puts. So I'm going to look to enter here shortly. Again, that's if we get a pullback. So I'm going to enter at 610.75. But yeah, I do like that. So 610.75 will be the entry point. Again, I'm just setting up automated orders. Gabe shouting out that Microsoft is at a 1 hour demand here. Gap down into this demand. Looking really solid. Really, really solid, right? Really solid reaction. That's what you want to see. Let me move this up. Now, I push up a little bit, baby. Come on. Let's get filled. What is tricky about this? So, like, obviously, whatever our, again, now we can kind of slow down. Let me go fast here. Let me see. I don't want to make a trade. All right, on Meta here, we'll see. And on Meta shorts, let me set my exit. Well, this doesn't look very promising. All right, Meta in that doesn't look too promising. We like this. We are in this uptrend like here, right? But I still like it with the higher time frame, but we'll just have to see what happens. So again, looking at Microsoft, all over the place. I think that's going to be everything. Might just be an L day. Man, look at Hood. See if we can hold that high. We're getting short when everything's ripping, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, looking at Microsoft, right? Exactly what you want to see coming off demand. Okay, we gap down into demand. This demand zone here is 1 hour demand. We gap down into it and we have a volume spike, right? Basically, what this is telling us is that buyers are here, okay? So let's just say buyers are here. Why? Because into demand, volume increase, reaction, okay? Change of trend. Price went the other way. Now, in order to really trade, let me move it this way. In order to really trade this, there's multiple ways to trade this, right? One way is to kind of just sit and wait and know you have a 1 hour demand zone there and just set an automated order here, right? With your stop below the demand zone and target the nearest supply. That is one way to trade this, okay? That's going to have, typically what I've seen in my testing is that this strategy wins, about 40% of the time. With a good risk reward, 1 to 1.5, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, which you typically get a better R on these trades, it's a profitable strategy, right? It's great. What we typically look for, what I typically look for specifically, is I look for the combination of market structure, right? So what I would like to see, and we could still get this, right? So that's why it's going to stay on my watch list, is we have move lower and reaction. Perfect. That's what we want, right? That is what we want. That tells me buyers are here. Now, on that push higher, okay, we start to pull back. All right. And this starts to form market structure. Meta is actually in the green now. Boom. It starts to form what we look for in market structure. Come on, Meta, dump, baby. I'll go back to teaching in a second. I'm only looking at Netflix if you reveal your real identity, Juiced. That's the rule. I'm not opening it until you reveal your identity. There's no stop. Nice to meet you. There's just no stop. There's no place to put a logical stop yet. Is it tradable? Possibly. There's just no place to put a logical stop yet. Come on, stay down, bro. My meta's like really the spreads are really lagging, or I just got a really good entry. It's saying I'm still in the green here. Is anyone else's lag? I'm still in the green. I must just have gotten a really good fill. It's basically saying my fill is like right here. I'm going to lose like $150 only. Interesting if we lose. All right. So what I'm looking for here, there's kind of two things to look for. So one thing to look for, right, is, and again, it's exactly what John took, right? John played a 50% retracement from the low to the high. He's entering right here. Stop here. He's going to target that next high. Great trade setup. That is one way to do it. This only works as this strong low because, again, this low didn't really take out any high. And so it's not a true trend change. But if we look at all our other confluences, right, we have other things that align. We don't need that lower time frame trend change. John doesn't need that for, or like the lower time frame, break of structure type setup. We don't need that because he has other confluences. And that's like the biggest thing in trading. We just need to look for multiple confluences. So John took this trade. I'm personally going to wait and see if we come down and then we come back up, right? Especially as, you know, Meta dumps, Nvidia's big red. I'm just going to wait, but I still like the trade, right? I personally believe if you were to take 10 of these types of setups, you'd be very profitable, right? So I think it's a good trade. Come on, break that low, bro. Break that low. Exactly, John. It's multiple confluences, and it fits the parameters of the strategy, right? The only confluence you don't have is a lower time frame break of structure. That's the only one you don't have. Everything else is good, and there's a very good chance you're basically playing the probability that we're going to go up here before we go down here, which I love. I love those odds. I think those are great odds, right? I'm personally playing that there is a chance that we come down here, and I know for a fact that if we come down here and then we make a new high, that we will for sure go up here, right? And that's the probability I'm playing. But my risk to reward is going to be a little bit less than yours. Yours is probably a 1 to 2 right now. Mine's going to be like a 1 to 1, right? So I have to win double the amount of trades that you win with those same risk parameters, right? So Meta just wants to be on crack, I guess. I don't really know what's going on. Also, it looks like crypto dumped a little bit today. Oh, that was yesterday, rather. Sorry. Can you guys see this stuff about Josh Jacobs? Got another 50% retrace entry. You want it? I'm so bearish on MU. I'm so bearish. Dude, break POC. Oh my gosh. There we go. Now close below POC. Dude, my gosh. What are we doing? Come on. Let's go. Just fall. Bro, this is stupid. Just fall. Buyer stepping back in. Someone's going to lose eventually. I'm going to look at Microsoft here. Hedge with Meta. Playing both ways. Really just like in all seriousness. Just like what? Meta doesn't want to fall, even though it's like literally about to crumble. There goes my freaking dynasty fantasy team. Oh my gosh. Yep. 100%. Hope this hits for you, John, and anyone else that caught it, right? I think if you enter on this retrace here, I think that's a really good trade, right? It's a good trade. I don't want to like psych you out. It's a good trade. Q's dumping there. It's kind of the same thing. Like, and I think this shows us, you know, trends changing on the lower time frame, going down. But like, let's say we're to enter on this break. I don't have the R to take that trade. We'll just have to see what happens here. That's kind of where I'm at too, John. That's why like I don't love this trade, shorting this, but let me just look at Tesla. It's especially really hard. It's really hard to short gap ups like this, especially when we look like this. But if you think about it, like that is a lower high, but we could also just be forming a higher low and making a new high, right? So if we really zoom out, we're clearly going up. That's why I typically lean bullish on all trades. Let's see. Really, my like true entry is like all the way up here. So that's actually something with the spreads. I think because that candle was so fast, I got a pretty good fill. But you know, so I'm in a pretty good spot on Meta here. Microsoft, nice push, but now it's retracing back. Apple would have been beautiful. QQQ rotated, would have been a winner. A lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas today. A lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. This could have been a potential good short. I'm really not a short person either. That could have been a good short, though. Come on, Meta. Just if Meta can break POC, like, we'll dump. This would have been a good potential call credit spread here. Up here, play that break. I'm 5'2". Here, let me stand up. I fixed my standing desk. This, if you guys remember my dog, she broke the wiring, so I had to rewire it. But yeah, that's my fan. I got like a 9-foot ceiling in here. Actually, this is better. I might start trading like this. It's kind of nice. Weird fake out for there. Come on, Meta. Stop hanging on. Whatever is holding them up here is gonna break. See, there's Microsoft starting to fall. So now let's see. 6'4", we're 36, 38 length pants. Extra large tees, sometimes 2X depending on the tee. Just an average guy. That's all I am. Yep, Uber looks good. Kind of the same thing. You could put your stuff up in here, right below this low. Mr. Steven, I don't hate that. What's better? Is it better when I stand? Does the angle look better? Do I look less scrunched down? Move that up to the watch list here. I think NVIDIA is going to be down. Well, it's still tradable. Dude, Meta. Oh my gosh. All right. Push Microsoft and Meta fall. Come on. Hey, my likes on my video are pretty light. That'd be awesome on the video. Takes 3 seconds. Just go ahead and hit this button. Boom. Again, make sure, right? I should say this more. Make sure if you're watching this that this is live, right? Sometimes if you like get off of it, it pauses, like you'll end up 20 minutes back and you're like, oh yeah, that's a great trade setup. And you enter really late. Make sure you're live. I wish it would like auto update, but you know, it doesn't do that. So, all right, let's see if Microsoft can hold and rip. Let me set my OCOs for Microsoft here. Kind of that in between, but you know, I like potential. I like playing it as like a little bit of a hedge to the other side to, you know, be able to, you know, protect ourselves both ways. Now, again, there's no telling that we could dump on Microsoft and pump on Meta, sure, but it does able to hedge both ways. And Uber's coming up. Uber looks good right now. I should have set an OCO. That's on me. Just doing Friday expiration. You know, we have 50-cent stop, about 15 contracts. All right. And on Uber, so we got some good trade sales. I think I'll be yeah, good job, Steven. I think we'll be done in terms of entry stay, unless it's something just like screams at us. But let me set the OCO, and then I want to leave a couple minutes here for questions. Or we got plenty of time. It's not even 30 minutes in. We're just shooting from the hip today. Jeez. But yeah, I want to leave some time for questions. If you guys have any questions, is anything coming up? Anything you want me to look at? Any teaching? Whatever. I'm here for you guys. So yeah, currently in Meta, Uber, Microsoft, long on Uber, long on Microsoft, short in Meta. Tanner's been on an MU tear. Meta's really frustrating the crap out of me. What are we doing? Yo, what's up? Green bean. The OCO for Uber bottom is 6975. Really, I always round to the nearest 0.05. That's just what I do for simplicity. You know, it just makes it easier for me to type it in. But yeah, and then target 7080, right? So it's a nice 1-to-1. Good, buddy. We'll see here on Meta, man. I don't know. It's not cooperating, but Uber is, right? And part of this too is like, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose a lot, but I have 3 trades going right now. If 2 win and 1 lose, my risk to reward is going to be accurate. I'm going to have a profitable day. That's what matters, right? That's the part that matters. Literally, if Uber just hits, we close Microsoft break even, Meta loses, I go 1 for 1 and 1. I'm still profitable on the day, right? Like that's I have a 50% win rate and still profitable, right? That's the benefit of having good risk to reward. You're going to be wrong. Microsoft's starting to rip. You're going to be wrong, and it's just moving on. There's a very good chance this loses, right? We're not holding. Very good chance that Meta loses. But I'm up $200 on Uber, and I'm up $400 on Microsoft right now. 300 now. 300, sorry. Can you still see me, by the way? My monitors are acting up. There we go. Should be back. Maybe. Should be back now. Have fun at the beach, man. Soak up that sun. We're getting some rain here. Getting some rain. It stopped raining, but it was raining really hard. NVIDIA, don't sleep on it. If we get closer to 10, I'm just saying if the rest of the market starts to push, don't sleep on NVIDIA for a possible rotation. We'll just have to see kind of what plays out. This is like both a good and bad sign. It goes both ways. Good sign in it being it took out, it made a new high. Bad sign being it stopped on it and we reversed. But again, looking at multiple confluences, we're actually in downtrend. Multiple confluences. We are in a short-term 1-minute uptrend here. We took out supply. We are trending up, right? If we just continue that pattern, should look good. What's up, Harley? You guys got any questions for me? Would love to do some teaching if you guys got a question. Look at SPY, that crazy reversal. Let's assume Q's went up. So Meta's looking like gonna be an L. Yeah, I'll swing overnight for sure. Sorry, my monitor froze again. Bro, anytime I lean on my desk, I probably have like a loose cable. So annoying. I'm gonna go back down. Sorry guys, I probably have like a loose cable. I don't know why, but yeah, that'd be nice, Harley. If I knew that was gonna happen, I would get long right now. But yeah, absolutely. I don't really trade futures too much, but in options, absolutely. I will swing, I will hold leverage positions overnight. The benefit of options versus like futures in terms of swinging, like futures, you could swing, we could gap up or down. You could literally blow up your entire account. That's what's scary about future swinging. With options, worst case scenario, you only lose the amount you're risking on that trade. That's like the benefit to options versus futures for swinging. Massive volume spike here, lots of sellers here. You know, we'll see if that leads to trend change, continuation down. We'll see. That's like the benefit. But I will definitely, swing and hold leverage positions. Absolutely. Like That's swing trading. That's leaps. That's home runs, as I call them, right? Base hits. This is kind of like a base hit system where I'm looking for 1-to-1, 1-to-1.5, where swings and leaps, I'm looking for 1-to-2 plus, 1-to-5, and then leaps, I'm looking for like 1-to-100 R. Yeah, I absolutely will. Let me look at these other questions here. Great questions, guys. Seriously, great questions. A little bit better. I would love if Meta just starts to dump and this just stays steady and we trend up. That'd be awesome. Next question. So do you have a method for choosing which option contracts to choose? Yes, I do. I do have a method. So what I typically look for, so my method, right, is I'm going to look for, where is price currently, right? That's the first thing we look for. Where is price currently at? Then I look at where is my target, all right? Those are the two things I look at first. So where is price at currently and where is my target? Let's take Meta, for example. Okay. When I entered this trade, I entered right here on this candle. Okay. I entered at 610.70. So where is price currently? 610.70. Right. Then where's my target? 607.31. Right. The next question I ask, okay, when do I think target will be hit? Right. Obviously, this is a day trade. I expect it to be today. But if it's a swing trade, it may be tomorrow. It may be next week. It may be in a month. And so that helps me to decide on my expiration. I usually go about 2 to 3x, sometimes 4x of when I think it will hit. So if I think it will hit like in a day, I usually go the closest past 0 DTE. That's just typically what I do. Like SPY, I'll do 1 DTE. Meta, I'll do like, today I answered Friday expirations. Microsoft's ripping, by the way. Let's go. Then I want to look for, so when do I think my target will hit? So this is how I pick my expiration, right? Again, I just think a general rule of thumb is 2 to 3x of the time you think, right? So if you think it's going to be, let's say, for example, Microsoft might just go. Let's go. You could hit Microsoft TLM2 here. Meta's probably going to be a loss. That's okay. Again, let's say let's take Microsoft, for example. Let's say you think this is going to be a swing trade that hits tomorrow, right? I'm going to probably do next week expiration to avoid any theta decay, right? I want to avoid theta decay at all cost. I don't mind overpaying for a position, right? What's it matter? If I risk $800 or $500, but I still make, I'm not risking that whole amount, right? I am risking that if we gap down overnight and like I blew it all, right? Obviously, I'm not risking that with a good stop. I'm risking the same amount per trade. My contract weight is just a little bit more. So 2 to 3x of what you think. So if you think it's going to be like this upcoming Friday, do next Friday. If you think it's going to be next Friday, do like 2 following that. Give yourself plenty of time. Bro, every time I hit my desk, a cable jiggles and I lose. I think it's this monitor fixes it. I'm gonna have to edit this out for the good, I guess. Freaking Amazon sending me crap. Short Amazon. Okay. And so where is price currently? Let's back it up. So Meta is probably going to hit stop loss here. Where is price currently? Okay. Possible strike price. Where is my target? Another possible strike price. Meta just doesn't want to break this high, doesn't want to break this low. Okay. So again, what I look for, right? Usually something like Meta is a little bit more expensive. It's a little bit more expensive. So I want to look, I bought the 607 puts, right? I'm going to be in the money at expiration. For Uber, I bought like the 70 calls. I'm deep in the money, or like I'm in the money at entry, right? And it really comes down to the cost. Again, I don't care if I spend more. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me if I pay more. But if I can pay less with the same reward, why would I not do that, right? If you're on a cash account, that's going to give you more cash to have liquid to trade your next trade. It's always good to pay less. But what you don't want to do is you're getting in puts, right? And you're buying like the 598 puts because they're $100, right? You want to be close to around that in the money, right? So again, always just remember in the money or at the money, rarely too far OTM, out of the money. Right. And again, if understanding that, I believe I have a video going over, it's also in the Freedom Team course too, but where's it at? Right here. So here's a guide for like OCO orders and good buddy. Yeah, absolutely. I don't really do it on the live. It's not really a fun way to trade, but yeah, absolutely I will. And so when do I think target will be hit? That's like the next thing for expiration, right? And then like the last thing, before I even ever enter the trade, I'll be like, does this stock or option have good spreads, right? Again, I don't really want to take a trade. Netflix is a good example. It's pretty hard to day trade because the spreads are like $100 apart. It's just kind of hard. It's just kind of hard. I don't have red days, so I can't answer that question. Just kidding. Let me get to the next question. Chris, I hope that answers kind of your question there. Can you explain the reason for going short on Meta from a higher time frame perspective? Yeah, absolutely. Here, let me move that up here. Absolutely. So if we look at a higher time frame, we're actually in this downtrend. If I look at a 2 hour, so we're actually a little bearish. And so that's what ultimately decided. That was like one of the deciding factors. We're actually bearish. Like obviously, yeah, if I go to the daily chart, we're in this uptrend, but we are in this short-term downtrend, right? We have a high, and now we're forming lower highs. Meta just hit stop loss. And for transparency, I did have a loss, but Meta's, I don't know. Looking back, right, what I should have done, Ashish, is I should have waited for these lows to break. Right. So I did it. I would agree. I probably entered a little bit prematurely. Now, at the end of the day, I lost Meta, but pretty sure Uber's going to hit, and I'm pretty sure Microsoft's going to hit. Right. So I lost $200 and I'm up 450 on Microsoft, 200 on Uber. Right. So right now, $500 on the day. Right. And so looking back, yeah, best case scenario would have been waiting for these lows to break here. I was looking at higher time frame. Right. We're in that 2 hour downtrend, right? Then I saw massive sell-off, right? I saw sell-off and I was like, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. But again, didn't work out as planned, and that's okay. We got 2 other trades that would be winners. Next question. Why do you think Meta ended up being an L? I think it goes to just show, like I said, like this low not breaking. It's this trend wants to continue. This 1 minute trend wants to continue. Now, if we zoom out, we're still, like, if we look at it like this way, we're still bearish, right? So we're kind of in like this no man's land. So I think it's just, you don't win every trade. And, I should have been more patient and waited for that 608.93 low to break. I think that would be the key. Remember, NVIDIA is just dumping. Harley, if you're asking me that question, do you enter or exit on a 30-minute or a 15-minute? I actually use like the 1 minute. But people get confused. This isn't scalping. I enter on the 1 minute so I can look at candle. I can look at price action. I'm not like getting in and out 700 times. I've taken 3 trades today. Now, we could have had maybe one more with Apple. We just missed because it didn't pull back. But all right, I've taken 3 trades. So there's benefits to both, Harley, and I hope I didn't miss any other questions. Bad cable, I think so. If you have time, could you summarize microstructure? Yeah, right. So the benefit to a 1 minute, I think there's pros and cons to both. The benefit to a 1 minute is I can see all the action. For some people, that's overwhelming, right? For some people, that's too much data. If I go to a 5 minute on this exact trade, let me just get rid of this arrow so it's a little bit cleaner. And this, right, on this exact trade, I get the same data and I have less chaos, right? It would have been fine. But for me personally, I like looking at the 1 minute so I can see all the action in between. I like seeing the highs and lows. I like seeing these pivot points, right? These pivot points help tremendously. I actually have an update. Target on Uber is basically 70-80, top of TLM. And so those are the things just to think about, Harley. Like, are you, again, if you're an analytical person, do you like data or does data overwhelm you, right? The benefit I find to the 1 minute is it gives you 5x the data, shows you 5x of the price action, and helps you execute trades faster using market structure, right? That is the benefit to the 1 minute. And again, this isn't a great example of pure market structure because we don't have a break of structure. This really is, right? So I can use this as an example. So if we were looking at the 5 minute here, all we see is price go up, right? That's all we see. That's on the 5 minute. If we look at the 1 minute though, we see lows and higher highs, higher lows and higher lows being formed, right? We see a trend, right? On the 5 minute, we don't see that. So on the 5 minute, how do I take this trade? I don't know. Where do I put my stop? I don't know. It doesn't show me anything on the 5 minute. On the 1 minute, we get that trend. Okay. And it shows me the patterns that I need to take a trade. So what do we get on Uber? Again, Steven really even pointed this out. So this is our high. This high forms a low. Microsoft's ripping. This low then takes out that high, right? Creating a break of structure or a change in trend. That tells me trend is going up. That allows me to now look for a possible entry point and other confluences. Microsoft should be hitting TP here soon. Actually, I'm up a grand. Let's go. Let's go. Should have FOMO'd out. Make sure I'm not getting too greedy here. Yeah, I'm not. I guess on a 15-minute. No, I think we're fine. Let's go. And you could potentially, like, if you're at let's just say you 1.5, like, you could get out around here. I'm not going to hate you. I'll probably look to get out right here on like a limit. I'll probably look to get out here. I'm going to just set a limit to get a nice fill. There you go. Yeah, got a limit, got a nice fill there. So I went in and got out on a limit order to not worry about fill. So I'm out on Microsoft. Made 950. Let's go. Made 950, baby. It's going to be a 1K day as long as Uber hits. Like I said, I think it's fine to get out. It would hit TP. I'm an idiot, but it's fine. Uber's going. And I guess I shouldn't like brag. Like, it's a 1K day. Like, it's a 2-for-1 day with good risk reward. I feel like that's a better way to explain it, because I don't want to like put it down like, oh, you only made $300 today. Man, you're broke. No, that's good. You made $300. If you took the same exact trades that I took with the same risk reward and you made $300 instead of $1,000, you had a great day. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. I just did a limit position there because it was before my take profit, and it had like a 30-point spread on Microsoft, right? I could have waited to, if I wasn't at my desk, I'd probably just wait, but I'd probably get really close to the same fill because I closed at market here. I closed here at a limit, but I did the limit higher. I did the limit basically at like the midpoint, a little bit higher than the midpoint, right? So my fill was probably about the same as it would have been at the market site. That's kind of why I did it. Could have just got scared. I moved stop to break even. So typically if I'm like at my desk watching the trade, I won't. But when I, for example, Microsoft here, let's say we didn't do that. We're just like kind of up here and my daughter just came in, we're going to go shopping and I leave. This is either going to be a win, or if we come back down here, we're going to lose. I'm going to move my OCO stop to break even so I can't lose, right? I don't have to think about the trade anymore. I'm either going to win or I'm going to break even. So that's really the only time I technically move it to break even is if I'm planning to leave. So like Uber, if Uber doesn't hit in the next like couple minutes, by the time my wife gets back from getting gas before we leave, I'm gonna probably end up moving this break even. But Uber is looking really good, and that's a good strategy too, Alec. Like, that's fine too. There are a lot of times where we get 1-to-1 and we do retrace the break even, then hit target. But it's a fine strat. I think the biggest thing is being consistent with it. What you don't want to do is like you take 10 trades, right? Let's say you take 10 trades, right? On 8 of them, you move break even at 1-to-1. On 2 of them, right? And you have like a 50% win rate, right? And you lose these 2, right? So really, you took 10 trades, you won 50% of the time. So you have 5 wins. I guess that would be fine. You have 5 wins and 2 losses. I guess that's fine. I guess I was thinking more, you do 1-to-1 and then they go back to winners. And so really you have like a pure win rate, you have like a 30% win rate. And so you have 3 wins, 2 losses, but your risk reward's all skewed, right? That's where you can kind of get in trouble. It's crazy. I literally have 15 contracts on Uber and it's still like, I should have had like 25 for the right risk reward. So I'm going to go ahead and move this stop to break even here. So this stop, like that's a good example of that. It's like I'm going to end the live stream. We're going to hop off. We'll go ahead and move that break even. But if that hits take profit, it's going to be about a $1,100 day, a really good day. If it hits break even, we'll be at about a $750 day. So yes, sir. Give a sub. If you don't already, give a sub, baby. Should be right. I actually don't know where it's at. Let me see. If you go to the channel, it should be right here for you. Subscribe, go live, hit subscribe right here. Boom. Would love that. All right. So again, Uber, move, stop, break even. So we're at essentially a no risk trade. So stop is moved up here. All right. So stop is break even. Target's the same. Microsoft hit. Meta was an L. So 1 for 1 on the day plus 700 on closed profit. We'll see what Uber does. And if you guys don't follow my Instagram, I'm going to drop it here. You guys got to follow me. You guys should all follow me, but I'm going to drop it here. There's the wife. Yeah, go ahead and drop me a follow on IG. I'll plug Twitter next week. How about that? Yeah, well, go ahead and give me a follow. But again, appreciate you guys hopping on. Hope you guys caught Microsoft at least. Hope you didn't catch Meta and just caught Microsoft. But good day so far. We'll see what happens with Uber. Remember, trade smart. Don't overtrade. Now is a great time to just be done. Set up automated orders and chill the rest of the day, or go about your day. And we will see you next week. Before I hop off, though, I think there are some people in here that may not be in the mentorship program, which is awesome. It's exactly what we want. And I hope you found, this really helpful. I'm actually going to drop a link in the chat for you guys. I want you to go ahead and book a call with our team. Okay, we'll kind of walk you through a little bit more in detail what we do and how we could potentially help you. And we should have a few slots. You just got to fill out this form. It's super easy. So just fill out the form, right? You fill out the form, blah, 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 blah. Fill out the form, and you're going to get some times to book. And if it redirects you, no worries at all. That's fine too. You'll just book a call here. It'll fill in your information and be a little phone call. So if you will, go ahead and book in that call, and we'd love to walk you through what we do. Other than that, good luck the rest of the day. Good luck the rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. See you guys.